Hello everyone, I am RiggyRob, and welcome back to my blind playthrough of Fire Emblem Three Houses, Hard Classic Mode with the Black Eagles. So, last time we left off after completing the Paralog and the Auxiliary battle. I went ahead and did the stuff for the month ahead. Obviously we saw the White Heron Cup, which Dorothea won. And I explored the monastery, did all the faculty and knight mixer stuff. Gave people their lost items, support stuff, and we now have the ability to get some B supports with, I think, everyone who is a student with the exception of Ignatz and Hilda. But there's some interesting things to happen with those people later on. Maybe not Hilda though, specifically, but the other thing is I went ahead and bought loads of battalions, so my battalion stuff is all maxed out. I went and bought every single one, so eventually when new people join the team, I can hopefully give them all battalions. So yeah, gives us more options in battle, at least. And yes, I mentioned about doing the supports for everyone. We've got some interesting conversations to have with some people. Let's go and find who this one is. Hello, Lysithia! Hello, Lysithia. Yes, now is a good time. I'd spend a lot of time doing tea time with you in particular.
Thank you for helping me with my training.
You're welcome. Anytime.
I'd love to do this again if possible. Your advice is always so useful.
Oh, well, thank you.
Everyone thinks you're a wonderful teacher. You account for people's weaknesses while capitalizing on their strengths.
I try my best.
Initially, I wasn't sure you paid too much attention to your students. Clearly, I was wrong. After all,
Praise
were that
me.
the case, you wouldn't be capable of providing such useful feedback. I'll continue to learn and grow from your instruction, Professor. I just know it.
One thing I do want to find out is, when do you actually teach the other students in the other houses? Because I never see it happen. You're quite determined, Lysithia.
You think I'm determined?
Of course. Yes, you're always pushing yourself.
Professor, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're the only one who's ever praised me like that.
You're extra motivated now, right?
I mean, people are always telling me I've got a knack for magic.
I've heard you are pretty strong from other people.
If you can call the power of my crest a knack, they aren't wrong per se.
What crest do you have?
Wearing 2 crests isn't a gift I ever asked for.
Oh, interesting. She's the only other person that's said she's got 2 crests other than Edelgard.
Anyhow, I've made a point to work harder than most and not rely too heavily on the power they bestow.
No wonder people say Lysithia is good.
So I find it frustrating that the only praise I seem to receive is directly related to that power.
For the crest, yeah.
If you've noticed how hard I work, then, well, it makes me very happy.
Aw. Why do you work yourself so hard?
Well, you see, it is because I am the only child of House Ordelia. I must do all I can for my family name.
On the other hand, you don't have any siblings competing with you.
I'm determined to someday be of real value to them. And that day must come soon. I can't waste any time. I don't have much of it left.
You're 15.
Anyway, I should be going. Thank you again for your help.
Like, literally the rest of your life ahead of you, which is going to be at least a good 70 years, if not longer. Yeah, so that was support B. So let's go and figure out what this support is over here. Also, Lysithia mentioned that Tomas was recruited into the Church of Seros on House Ordelia's recommendation. So there's some funky business going on there as well.
Professor.
Hey, Flane. Yes, now is a good time. Although, are you at maxed out motivation? Don't matter.
Professor. Spare me a moment again, will you not?
Of course. Of course. Now tell me how old you are.
How you helped me and allowed me to join your class, yes? I have learned a great many things since then. Indeed, I have truly grown so much.
I see.
This personal growth is due in large part to you.
But not as a Pegasus Knight.
And I wish to express my gratitude, sincerely.
I'm not sure you've grown that much.
Excuse me? Are you implying that I am still naive?
I don't know how old you are, though.
I will have you know that I have made many friends and am constantly learning new things. Why, when I go to the market alone, I even haggle.
Yeah, I really don't like haggling.
You must be familiar with the delicate art of haggling, in which one negotiates a lower asking price for an item.
Yep, never liked it.
That is the type of knowledge common only to those as mature as myself.
Okay. If you have to say you're mature, you're not. How old are you again?
Who? Me? Have you not asked this once before? It is a bit rude to ask repeatedly, you know.
Yeah, but you didn't answer the question. You never told me.
Is that so? Well, it seems we have something in common, since I do not know your age either.
I don't know my own age.
Come now. There is nothing to be gained from focusing so heavily on age.
There is when Setheth's your dad.
Touching on a previous discussion, I think I have learned more about you. I mentioned how you possess an air of mystery. I compared you to any old sea, but I have come to realize you are more like a particular sea, one I have seen before.
In the Ocean View Paralog, perchance?
When I was quite small, my mother would take me out to play in the sea.
Sounds like it.
She was an excellent fisher, my mother. I grew to love fish deeply because of her.
Where are you going with this?
Well, you see, fish are... Oh, wait. I was talking about the sea, was I not? Anyhow, I sense that, like the sea, your depths are seemingly impenetrable.
A bottomless curse, a bottomless sea.
Yet, despite your unknowable depths, there is something familiar about you.
All that there is, and that can be.
It's as if we have met somewhere, long, long ago.
You think we've met before?
No, I do not think so. It is all quite strange, really. I wonder if we might be distant relatives.
Ooh, maybe.
No, that cannot be it either. After all, if we were related, that would mean...
What would that mean?
Though considering all that Rhea has done, it is not entirely outside the realm of possibility.
Are you telling me that Ray has got around?
Oh, apologies. Just muttering to myself. It is nothing. Mutterings aside, I mean to say that you do not feel like a stranger to me. For whatever reason, I feel deeply connected to you. And for this, I am glad.
Okay. Fair enough. Support level B with Flame. Interesting. Interesting. Alright, so I believe there's one more around. Yes, here we go, near the Knight's Hall. Might be out to the left, yeah. Okay. So who do we have over here? Sylvain! I had to spend like 3 activity points on tea time with Sylvain. It was terrible. What happened, Sylvain?
Oh, Professor. I didn't realize you were there. If we keep running into each other like this, people will start to talk.
Will they?
They'll say, Sylvain and the Professor are on the prowl.
Lads on the town.
Ah, forget it. What do you need?
Girl problems, Sylvain? 99 problems, but a B ain't one? Another lover's quarrel?
Well, you're not wrong. I fell for that girl recently, but I just wanted to have some fun and leave it at that. So, I told her we should break it off. I guess she was feeling a little more serious than I was. She started crying, and everything got a bit complicated.
It always does. Whoa! That's just insulting. You're complicated, Sylvain.
Come on, Professor. Playing around with girls is the most fun a guy can have. Besides, I don't care what you think of me. I don't intend to change how I live my life. I'm a good-for-nothing, if you haven't noticed. But I'm still a noble with a crest. That's all anyone cares about. It's best to avoid getting too serious with fools like that. It only leads to trouble. I'm gonna be forced into an arranged marriage with some random noble woman anyway.
No, you're not.
By the
Come
way,
on,
Professor,
Sylvain.
you didn't know you had a crest, did you?
No, I guess I didn't. My father never told me. I don't know if he knew.
I see. I suppose a mercenary wouldn't be concerned with such things.
What was your experience?
Most children who are born to noble families are tested upon birth to see if they bear one. Even descendants of the 10 elites, like myself, can't be legitimate heirs without a crest.
Ah. Well, yeah, of course. talks about this with Micklin.
That means as children, we're only accepted if we're born with one. The heads of most noble houses keep having kids until they get one with a crest. Those children then grow up to be heads of their houses, and the vicious cycle continues.
Just keep having children until a crest manifests.
Do you get it now? To all these commoner girls, I'm just a trophy. Or rather, a stud horse.
I don't think they even care. You mean they only want you for your bloodline?
See? I knew you'd get it. These girls don't love me. They love the potential rewards of loving me. If I marry a girl, and she gives birth to a child with a crest, that kid might become the next head of House Gautier.
How very medieval of them.
But nowadays, with the bloodlines getting weaker, there are a lot of kids like my brother, born with no hope. For ages now, those of us with crests have been envied and desired, but never for who we are. I understand the value of my blood. Believe me, I hate how much I understand it.
I suppose there's the thing of Sylvain seems like a very shallow guy on first impression, and then that's kind of what he's most afraid of, because people always do the shallow thing with him because it's just about the crest.
I know better than to dream of being free from this burden. I'm used to it by now. I used to think I didn't have the right to live freely.
Of course you do, you're a noble. You don't think that way anymore?
That's right. You know what? I'm a bit jealous. The whole time you were growing up, you never knew you had a crest. You were free. Nobody pretended to like you. I kind of hate you for that. You were a spoiled brat who should pay for that crest. Maybe I'll collect the debt.
How am I spoiled?
Gotcha! Wow, you should have seen the look on your face just then. Don't mind me, Professor. After all, ladies love a dark and brooding noble.
Sure they do, in some ways. Well, alright then. So, I don't believe there's any more wandering supports around, but I do have some key people to talk to in particular. So, let's go and have a look to see where someone around here is. I don't know if anyone would be able to guess who I'm referring to at this point, mainly because they probably don't know what kind of stats I've got at this point. But good old Ignatz, even with a C support, apparently wants to join the house. Hello, Ignatz.
Scary things. The ball is...
How about we recruit you?
Ah, Professor, hello. I have a quick question for you. Would you consider adding me to your class?
Of course.
I'd also like to talk to you about my future and stuff.
We'll talk about your haircut, shall we? Invite to join your house.
Really? Oh, thank you. I'll study and train as hard as I can. Thanks so much.
You're welcome, Ignatz. Ignatz has joined the house. Woo! Believe he's another archer, so Bernie's got some competition. Although I don't think Ignatz would be any better than Bernie at this point, considering she's like a cavalier, I believe. Alright, so then we've got another person we want to talk to. Where would they... I think I know where they would be. Hello, Felix. Hello there. You like swords, don't you? Well, guess what? So do I.
Quite skilled. Perhaps if I joined your class, I could watch your sword technique up close.
Of course. Invite to join the house.
Indeed. I think that's best. I'll transfer to your class then. Don't make me regret it.
I won't. Felix has joined the house. So finally, I think I've got another speedy attacker, because really I only have Petra that's capable of doing that. So, yeah. Woo! Now we can have a potential another mercenary sword unit. Or at least someone with really high speed. Someone with good combat prowess. And last but not least indeed, we have got to look for good old Ash. I think he's a third archer, if anything. So, Ash, hello.
Last month was, well, you know even better than I do. This ball, though.
Hello, Ash.
Professor, I have a request for you.
Mm-hmm.
Would you accept me into your class?
Of
I'm
course.
sure I would learn so much more if I could study with you. Will you give me that chance?
Invite to join the
I
house.
can? Thank you. You
You're
won't
welcome.
regret this. I'm going to give it my all.
Please do. Ash has joined the house. Ooh, boy, oh boy, oh boy. So let's have a good old look at our roster now. I guess those guys get joined in here. So we've got Ignatz. Let's have a look at Ignatz. Yep, he's an archer. 16 strength, 16 speed, 19 dex. He's got a white Verona. Increases resistance by 1. His resistance is okay. And his ability is Watchful Eye, 20 plus here. That's good as an innate skill, actually. Because that means I don't need to worry about taking it off. So he can go for super inaccurate hits if I want him to. Sword, bow, reason after training, and authority, but only in authority. Okay. Second son of House Victor, a wealthy merchant family. And of course he likes the whole painting stuff, so. Alright, so that's Ignatz. Let's have a look at Ash, shall we? Yep, another archer. 16 strength, 20 dex, 17 speed, so slightly higher stats. And he also has a speed carrot. Increases speed by 1. Grants fast feet. And he's an innate thief. Interesting. Okay. So let's have a look at his skills. He's good at axes and bows. Huh. So he's an innate thief, but he doesn't have any sword skills. But he can get lances eventually. So again, another potential bow knight candidate. He's the son of restaurant owners in Gaspard territory. And of course was adopted by Leonardo. And his brother Christoph was executed by the Knights of Seros, which was what Catherine or Cassandra was being taunted about. Okay, and he likes reading and cooking. Cool. Alright. And we've got Felix. So he's a mercenary. Look at that, 20 speed already. Oh, I didn't check their people's crests, actually. Raldarius sometimes raises his might when using a weapon. He comes with a bullion, that'll be handy, because I am running low in gold. And of course, sword, brawling, bow, and eventually he'll be reason once it's trained up. So he's a good candidate for being a mortal savant. He is the second son of Duke Fraldarius, loses his older brother Glenn in the tragedy of Dusker. Now that's interesting because I'm pretty sure he has something with Ingrid about that. Yeah, engaged to Glenn, the son of Duke Fraldarius, and loses her fiancé in the tragedy of Dusker. So they've got a thing going on there. It's also sort of semi-related. And he has Lone Wolf, deals 5 extra damage when no battalion is assigned or when a battalion endurance is 0. So you actually don't want to give him one. Huh. Interesting. And he was in a Western Kingdom rebellion as well. And of course he likes sword practice and weapon maintenance. Right. Well then. Let's go ahead and make a save now that we've got those guys in the house. As you can probably tell, I was exploring them and I went through recruiting everyone and those guys said yes. So I figured, hey, let's actually see that live on camera. So, in terms of our roster, we have, of course, the Black Eagles. Then we've got, I think, is this the majority of the Blue Lions? No, Golden Deer. So Golden Deer... I think maybe Ash's Golden Deer as well, but we're getting close to recruiting everyone. Still got Raphael, Hilda to worry about. I don't think I can do Hilda, but I might be able to, don't know yet. And Dedu in the Blue Lions as well. Alright, let's carry on with a few more supports.